make it into a pointer finger. Okay, keep your left hand out. Okay, now take your finger, point it to the ceiling. Now take your finger, point it to the floor, but through the hand of the person next to you. Through the hand to the person next to you. So your finger goes here.
Your finger goes there.
Your finger goes like this.
And your finger goes
Now, so everybody's left palm is facing the ceiling and right finger is pointing toward the floor. Everybody's got a palm open and a finger down. Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Now, when I say go, your job is to, at the same time, try to pull your finger away from the other person and catch the finger of the person in your hand. Got it? So the idea is you don't want to get your finger caught, and you do want to try to catch someone else's finger. Okay? Can we try?
I get it.
Let's just try it. Okay, so when I count to 3, for example, I'm going to try to catch Stuart's finger. He's going to try to pull it away at the same time. Okay, but at the same time, it's happening over here. Ruby's trying to catch my finger, and I'm trying to pull it away at the same time. Right? Okay? 1. Why are you guys sitting up? 2, 3. Let's try again. Left palm out, right finger down. Okay, if you didn't have a finger in your hand, then you didn't catch it. Wait a minute.
You just
Right
flip it
finger.
around.
Right finger down. Right finger down. Sam.
Then we just do right finger down.
Yeah.
So,
I want you to see the right finger down.
Put your finger in there. Put your finger.
Right finger down. Left palm up. You okay? Should we switch places? Okay. Let's switch places. Stuart. Stuart, let's move over one.
No.
Come on.
No.
All right, we're going to try it one more time. All right, let's try it one more time. Okay. Ready? Here we go. All right, so either you don't have to play, or you can play according to the rules.
I did this and she just put her finger over. No.
All right.
It was like you wanted to get that.
It's just for fun. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
What? See, I said 3 and you took it. Okay, he grabbed my finger before he said I got his finger.
It's hard, right? All right. Thank you guys for playing. Let's sit down. Sit down on the stool. Sit over here. Cece, find a spot. I'm just going to call both of you guys Cece and Bella, because can you tell me how to tell you guys apart?
Yeah. Bella has blue shoes.
Bella has blue shoes.
I can just tell the
Bella
difference.
has
I don't know why.
You've known them all your life, probably.
She has like a scar on her.
All right. Here we go. Today's air day, or wind day.
Okay, let's all be
Okay? So remember the theme of our campus of 4 elements.
It's air.
So we've done, what's one we've done?
Earth and water.
Earth and water, and what do we have left?
Fire.
Fire and air. Okay, so today we're doing air, or wind. The schedule is as follows. We're doing our welcome circle a little bit late. We're going to read a story. We're going to do a craft. That's going to be really cool. We're going to have a snack. We're going to play with a parachute outside. Raise your hand if you've done parachute games before. Okay, I'm going to need a little bit of help remembering the games. I know some games, but not all the games. I know cat and mouse, that's a good one. Okay, then we're going to have lunch and silent reading, kind of relaxing time for about an hour. And then as we end every afternoon choice time, clean up and swimming. Okay? All right, so I got to back up. I got to tell you guys a little bit about this story. It's called 7 Ravens, the 7 Ravens. And I read it at the library, and I was like, I guess this is a good story for wind. I don't know, but it's also kind of like a really weird story. All right? So don't get caught up in, oh, it's not realistic, or oh, it's not, this doesn't make any sense. Like, it's not realistic and it doesn't make sense. So you just have to bear with it. and try to enjoy it for what it is. And then after we're done, we'll kind of talk a little bit about our impressions. All right? So this is called The Seven Ravens. Let me know if I'm going too fast. The Seven Ravens. There was once a baby girl, as beautiful as the sun is hot, as brave as the moon is cold, and as gentle and faithful as the stars are bright. Her parents loved her very much. Yet as she grew, she saw that they were not happy. In the mornings, her mother would sing as she brushed her daughter's long dark hair, but her songs were sad. In the evenings, her father would laugh as he lifted her high above his head into the air, but when she looked into his eyes, she saw shadows there. It's just a pretty letter. One day, while chasing a ball, the little girl crawled under her parents' bed and came upon 7 dusty boxes. She opened them and found in each a neatly folded shirt, delicately sewn in colors of the rainbow with patterns of the sun, moon, and stars. They were so finely embroidered, only her mother could have made them. That night at dinner, the girl wore the smallest of the shirts, hoping to make her mother smile. But when her mother saw it, she covered her face with her hands, and her father began to weep. Your poor brothers, they moaned, rocking back and forth. Your poor, poor brothers. And so her parents told the little girl of a time when they had 7 strong sons, each more handsome than the last. Not that being handsome is like the best, most important thing in the world, but, you know. Sorry. Yeah. So there she is. Thanks, Emma. Soon after you were born, said her mother, you felt ill. So ill we feared you might die. We asked the boys to be very quiet when they came near your cradle, but they forgot our warnings. One day while playing, they woke you from a sound sleep. I wish you'd all turn into ravens and fly away, cried your father in a rage. Lo and behold, 7 birds as black as night surrounded you in a great whir of wings. The largest dipped down, plucked the rattle from your hand, and holding it in his beak, rose up again, leading the others. They disappeared into the clear blue sky, said her father, and as he spoke, the girl counted 7 black shadows in his eyes.
The ravens.
The brothers. I'll find them, she promised, resting her head on her father's shoulder. I'll bring them home. What's done is done, he whispered, shaking his head slowly, and the shadows in his eyes seemed to spread through the house, filling every crack and corner. That night, the little girl could not sleep. She had been spared all those years ago, but her brothers had been taken. It was as if they had died in her place. If I could bring back my brothers, she thought, if I could only bring them back, my father and mother would be happy. She imagined her mother laughing and opening her arms as she welcomed them back. She imagined her father's tears of joy as he hugged each of his sons in turn, and hugged her last and longest. You can see all the empty chairs and the brothers used to sit.
Wait, did she know about her brother?
She just found out, I guess. And she found they weren't telling her, they only told her when she found the shirts. Just before dawn, the little girl left her bed, and taking only a loaf of bread, a jug of water, and a wooden stool, she went out into the wide world to find her brothers. Over her own blouse, she wore her brothers 7 shirts with patterns of the sun, moon, and stars. I'll travel as far as the sky is blue, she thought, and when I meet the sun, he'll tell me if he's seen my brothers. She marched straight ahead through warm yellow fields, past grazing cows, through berry bushes and brambles, until she came to a murky river with thick grasses growing along its banks. By this time, she was very hot and tempted to take off at least one of the shirts, but she kept on walking. Why do you think she brought a wooden stool with her?
So she could sit. So she could reach the sun.
That wouldn't have been my first choice if I was going on a long journey.
Yeah.
followed the river until she came to a cool, mossy cave. Placing her wooden stool just inside, she rested. If I stay here forever, she thought, it will rain and the water will rise and I'll disappear inch by inch. Suddenly, she felt alone in the world and frightened. Her parents seemed far away. She broke off a bit of bread and, eating it slowly, pictured herself returning home with her 7 brothers by her side. She closed her eyes, trying to imagine what those bird boys looked like, each one older than she and each one bigger and stronger than the next. But the harder she tried, the harder they were to imagine, until, weary with the effort, she fell asleep. When she woke, the river looked black in the fading light, and she sat up, alarmed. She had let too much time slip away. Hurriedly, she took a drink of water from her jug, gathered her things, and edged out of the cave. It's a pretty sky behind her. She's pretty brave. Oh, she cried, startled, for sitting on a large rock just outside the cave was a round boy, and he was staring at her. His face was rosy, lit from behind by the sunset colors of the sky, and his ears looked too bright, like large pink seashells. Son, oh son, the little girl cried. Have you seen my brothers? The boy yawned and shook his big head. The little girl came closer. I must find my 7 brothers, she said earnestly, and bring them home. You're a beautiful girl, he said, raising his finger like a torch, but you shouldn't come too close. Then pointing directly at her, he burned a hole right through her eldest brother's shirt, just over the place on the left sleeve where her mother had sewn the sun. If you must know, I am the sun, he said. Beware, or pretty as you are, I shall turn you to ash. The little girl screamed and fled, running as fast as she could into the wood, where dark trees cooled the wind that calmed her beating heart. You okay, Lena? That's pretty cool. She met the sun, and it was a boy.
Yeah, you wanted to burn them.
I guess. I don't know why. I told you it's a weird story. Stumbling on, she heard the sound of distant chimes as twilight deepened into night. In the dimness, she made out the shape of a tall woman coming toward her, carrying in her arms a goat as thin as the crescent moon. A long line of sheep straggled behind her, their bells ringing softly. The little girl knelt until the shepherdess was very close. A cold white light seeped across the forest path. The shepherdess stopped in her tracks, her black robes billowing. You guys know what billowing means?
Yeah.
Yeah, like a parachute billows, right? The goat fixed its beady eye upon the girl, who shuddered, for suddenly she felt chilled through and through. Moon, oh moon, have you seen my brothers? She called. The shepherdess shook her head and glided past. The little girl rose up to follow. You are a brave little girl, but you shouldn't come too close, the white goat bleated, and it struck the girl a blow with its hoof, ripping a hole in her eldest brother's shirt just over the place on the right sleeve where her mother had sewn the moon. If you must know, I am the moon, shrilled the goat. I am the moon, I am the moon, I am the moon. And its thin voice blended and faded with the sheep bells as the shepherdess bore it away.
That boy was the sun.
Yeah. And the goat is the moon.
This is so weird.
So weird. And the thing is that she already knew it was the moon before the goat said, I'm the moon.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, you guys are going to have to help me figure it out. Sadly, the girl took off her eldest brother's tattered shirt and cradled it in her arms. I shall never find you now, she whispered dejectedly, tracing her finger along the stitches. The sun her mother had made long ago was burned through and through, and the moon was badly torn, but just below the moon was a straight row of stars, and as she touched them, they seemed to glow slightly. She gazed up into the black sky. No stars were in sight, but she called out nevertheless, "Stars, oh stars, have you seen my brothers?" "Yes," came the answer. The little girl peered into the gloom, and there, not far off, was a dwarf, digging furiously in the earth with a long shovel. On his head was a strange crown studded with gems. Sure, go ahead. Here it is, he cried, holding up a shining sliver of glass, as skinny as a needle. "Take it," he said. "It's only a bone, but it may come in handy." "I've never seen a glass bone before," she said, taking it. And not having a proper place to put the gift, she stuck it into her eldest brother's shirt, just under the spot near the heart, where her mother had sewn the largest star of all. So she meets an elf who gives her a glass bone. Look at her face. Yeah. Yeah, from your own water bottle? Sure. Then she told the dwarf about her mother and father and her journey in search of her 7 brothers and her discouraging meetings with the sun and the moon. The dwarf listened. "You must love your mother and father very much to have come all this way," he said kindly when she had finished. The little girl nodded solemnly. "Your brothers are lucky to have a sister so beautiful, so brave, and so faithful," said the dwarf, touching her shoulder ever so lightly. "But where are they?" asked the girl. Yet she hardly heard his answer, because all at once she was spinning up into the air, through the tallest trees, higher and higher into the starry night. "They live in the glass mountain," he called, and his voice sounded far away. "Oh," called the girl, "and where is that?" "At the end of the world," came the faint response.
Oh my.
It's getting weirder by the minute. She's got to go to the glass castle. What's that? Oh, glass mountain. Feeling dizzy, the little girl closed her eyes and let herself turn and turn through black space like a top. When she opened her eyes again, she stood in a long blue banquet hall lined with mirrors. The room was frigid and bare, except for 7 chairs and a crystal table set for 7. You guys know what frigid means?
Cold.
Really, really, really cold. Good. She shivered and looked for a place to hide, but everything was made of glass, except her own jug and stool, and a small, dusty baby's rattle hanging on the door. You guys remember the baby's rattle?
Oh, yeah.
"Mine," she whispered, and reached out to touch it. In her mind, she heard her father's words again. "What's done is done." She had followed her raven brothers to the glass mountain. What if she couldn't bring them back? Trembling, the little girl took off her brother's shirts and one by one placed them on the backs of the chairs. But she kept the burned and torn one, tenderly smoothing it in her hands. Then she crouched down behind her wooden stool to wait. Before long, she heard thunder rolling toward her, and the room turned black. Blindly, she sat huddled in a sudden whirlwind of shadows, as dark as the shadows in her father's eyes. Pretty crazy. When the thunder subsided, she made out the hulking shapes of 6 fierce blackbirds with shining feathers and sharp beaks. They all began to talk at once until they saw the shirts and fell silent. "Mother made those," said one. "To protect us," said another. "A long time ago," said a third. "I remember," said the youngest, and he took his shirt in his beak and pulled it over his head. Lo and behold, his wings turned to arms, his feathers fell off, and he was a boy again. Then all the others did the same, and they too turned back into boys. Their little sister leapt from her hiding place and ran toward them, giving them each a kiss. But suddenly she turned pale. "There are only 6 of you," she said. What do you think happened for 7?
Because of the shirt. I bet you didn't come because of the shirt.
No sooner, what did you say? No sooner had the words been spoken than the eldest brother limped in, dragging his wings. His left wing was burned, his right wing was broken and torn, and a small wound like a pinprick oozed 1 drop of blood just under his heart. He stumbled forward but froze when he caught sight of his little sister and all his brothers who had turned back into boys. The little girl quickly pulled from under her wooden stool the loaf of bread and the jug of water. "Eat this and drink," she said, and the raven did. She took the glass bone the dwarf had given her, and unraveling the hem of her own blouse for thread, she mended the sleeves of her eldest brother's shirt. As soon as the little girl had finished, the raven's wings were as powerful as ever. Gently, his sister kissed the wound under his heart. "Thank you," he said, and just as gently he placed her on his back. Probably a good thing he did turn back into a boy.
Because then I wouldn't be able to get back.
Exactly. Then he plucked her baby rattle from its place on the door and shook it triumphantly in his beak. His brothers climbed on, and they all soared high up above the glass mountain into the morning sky. And like a cloud, the curse of their father's anger lifted.
The mountain's made out of glass?
The castle, the mountain, the castle. The sun was rising, and the moon had not yet disappeared. The little girl held her breath. She had never seen such a sight. On they flew through clouds and mist as far as the sky was blue. As evening fell, they landed in a shadowy meadow just outside the village where their parents lived. There, the eldest brother put on his rainbow shirt and turned into a boy. "We are 8 now," he said, smiling, and together at last they walked out of the shadows toward home. The end.
It makes sense.
You think so? All right, first things first. Why do you guys think I chose this book for Wind or Air Day? Lucy. What's that? Because of the 7th one? What about him?
He put his coat back on.
Yeah, he turned back into a boy after he put his shirt on. Like, I think he might be one of the taller ones here. Cece.
I think he chose it because there's ravens and they like fly in the air.
They fly in the air, yeah. Io.
I think it's because the sun and the moon are in the air.
Yeah.
And the stars.
Any other ideas? All right, so what did you guys think of the story? Any specific thoughts? Do you think it was like really weird?
It was weird, but it made sense. Like I think I think the story did not make sense, and then at the end it all came together.
It all came together at the end. Okay. Sam.
I think it was pretty weird. How whatever happened to one of the shirt checks, what happened to one of the ladies.
Oh yeah, right? It was like the ravens were the shirts.
Oh yeah,
Kind of weird.
This shirt, when it got, like his wing was broken in the shirt. Like his soul was in his shirt. And then he got burned.
Right.
Well then it got torn, like the wound underneath.
Like when the goat kicked him. Maya.
I think I know why the shirt and whatever on the shirt has to break.
Why?
Well, it said that the shirts are made to protect them. But when another
So, Danya.
she bonded them to the That's why whatever happened to the show happened
Uh-huh.
they were like bonded. They had to share the energy towards them.
That's a really good point. Really good idea. Yeah. Nice.
That's the best show for meant to do.
Right. Protect them.
And in a way, it does protect them.
Mm-hmm.
Because whatever happens to elements, and if you just flip it around, whatever happens to the boy happens to the shoe. So you usually sew the shoe, and whatever happens to them will be fine.
Right. And if you keep the shirt safe, then the boys are safe too.
Because
Right?
when she sewed the shirt back together, the raven gave all his energy back. And it doesn't even have to be the shoe that gets torn. And that's probably why you hid them under the bed so no one messed them up. Exactly. So they could be safe. Yeah.
Yeah.
The boy got hurt. Let's say he got a concussion or something. Not the shoe, the boy, like himself.
Right. Then the shirt itself.
Then the shoe would have something wrong with it. Then you need to fix the shoe, and then the boy. Exactly.
Oh, that's a really good
I
point.
agree with that because.
Yeah, I never thought of that.
I agree with you because you said like whatever happened to the boy happened to the raven. And I think because the mom put the shirts in boxes so that they wouldn't.
To protect them.
Yeah, so that the boys wouldn't get hurt. Lots of
Good.
why the mother made shirts so that whatever happens to them, they take it to the doctor or
Good. Yeah.
fix the shirt, and they would be fine.
I love all these ideas. These are good thoughts. All right. Any last thoughts about the book? Any questions about the day? Okay. I really appreciate you guys sitting for all this time. What I'm going to do, just Stuart.
There can't be any boys. There can't be anyone that can be on the earth and they're magic.
You don't think so?
The boy that can shoot
It wasn't a
real story. Yeah, and the goat.
Right. Well, I told you it was like a story that needed to kind of expand your imagination to really enjoy it, right? Okay. Do you have a question about the day, Maya, or is it more about the?
It's not the day.
Yeah.
It's not the day it sounds bad. What is that?
Yeah, I'm about to explain. I'm glad you asked. It's a perfect segue. So what we're going to do is I'm going to ask you guys to quickly and quietly move to the tables. You can turn that off now if it's still on. I'm going to have you guys move to the